Yo 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 yo. Hey everybody, it's G here. We're gonna talk about populations and samples in this video. So this is all about understanding the vocabulary. It's almost like a vocabulary section where if we don't understand the vocabulary, it is impossible for you to be successful in this because there's no calculations involved. There's actually no working with numbers. It's just talking about populations and samples and going through all of these 5 different vocabulary terms or key terms here and then putting them to use. So all of these key terms are super important, and you're going to need to take the time to, whether it's not study the actual definitions or really go through each example in this video to understand what each one means. So that, because this is a vocabulary section. So population. So what we're doing is we're talking about taking samples to gain information about certain populations. Okay, so what that means is whenever you hear about survey results are, or surveys, what they have is surveys are to gather information about a certain group of people. So for example, if I wanted to know if DePaul Middle School likes watching math videos, okay, and I want to take a survey to get there to figure out what they like about it, what they don't like about it, I would have to, and I want to know about all of DePaul since all of the math teachers are doing it. Then what I'm doing is I am taking a survey I'm taking a survey about the population, and the population would be DePaul Middle School. That is the group that I'm trying to gather the information about when I'm taking that survey. So population is a group that information is being gathered about. Now, it is not realistic for me to gather information from every single student at DePaul Middle School. That is a tall task. That is difficult. So what I can do, instead of gathering information from everybody, I can take a sample of the population. So a sample is part of the population that information is being gathered about. So what I can do is I can say, you know what, I can't get to all DePaul, but maybe I can get to 50 different people, and I can use that information and extrapolate that so that it will tell me what all DePaul Middle School thinks about or how they feel about these math videos. So I'll just talk to 50 or 100 students instead of all of our 800 students. So that is taking a sample. That is taking a chunk out of the population and using them to represent the entire population. So it's just part of it. A random sample is when every object has an equal chance of being selected. So if I were to do a random sample here at DePaul, a random sample would mean I'm not just interviewing my students. Maybe it's random for me to figure out who I talk to. Maybe I just go in the cafeteria and I talk to people that just start walking through the door. That would be random. So I don't know whose students they are. I don't know if they're an 8th grader or a 7th grader or a 6th grader. And I just start talking to random people. That would be a random sample. That's when everybody has the same chance of being selected. A biased sample is when it doesn't accurately represent the population. So if it's a biased sample, I might be only asking students in my Math 7-8 class. Or I might just be asking my 3rd period and 4th period students. Maybe I'm just asking my students. And that wouldn't be representative of the entire population because there's a lot of people who don't have me as a teacher. There's a lot of students who aren't Math 7-8 students. So there's 8th graders or 6th graders. So a bias sample is when it doesn't accurately represent the population and not everybody has an equal chance of being picked. That's when we're being biased. And then same thing with the biased question. It's when the question could cause people to respond in a certain way. So maybe if I said in my explanation, what's your favorite part about the math videos? And that was my only survey question. Is that really going to tell me if people actually like it or not? No, because what I'm already saying is, what's your favorite part? I'm already trying to have a positive spin on it, and that wouldn't be a very good question to ask if I'm trying to determine if people like the math videos. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to look at multiple examples, and we're going to determine if it's biased or if it's not biased, and we're also going to identify the population. So, number 1, Roberto wants to know the favorite sport of adults in his hometown. He surveys 50 adults at a baseball game. So he wants to know the favorite sport of adults in his hometown. So my population are adults in town. Because that is adults in town. And sorry about my handwriting. I'm on the slate today, not on the board, so it's going to be a little bit not as good. Roberto wants to know serious source about adults in his hometown. That's the population. That's who's trying to gather information. His sample is he's talking to 50 adults at a baseball game. So we want to know, is this kind of is this a random sample or is this a biased sample? It is biased. And the reason why is he's interviewing people at a baseball game. The chances are, now, it's not a guarantee that if someone's at a baseball game, their favorite sport is baseball. But if someone's at a baseball game, odds are that they like baseball. So therefore, that is a biased sample, and that would not be representative of the entire population. So that is a biased sample. Number 2, Paula wants to know the favorite types of music for students in her class. She puts the names of all students in a hat, draws 8 names, and surveys those students. So write down the population and whether or not you think it's biased or unbiased. Just think about it real quick. Take a second, pause it, figure out what the population is and whether or not it's a biased sample or not. Okay, so my population is students in class, in Paula's class. Or you could just put Paula's class, I guess. It's just all the students in her class. And then that is a random sample because she gave everyone the equal chance. Okay, it was randomly done. So she didn't just pick her friends. She took everyone, all the students were put in a hat, and she just took 8 names, and she just talked to those 8 people. That would be a random sample, which is a good representation of the entire population. So how might you choose a sample size of 20 to determine the preferred practice of all players in a soccer league? So that's something to think about. How might you choose a sample of 20 to determine the preferred practice day of all players in a soccer league? So if we're looking at a league, we want to know the preferred practice day. Maybe we just go to the Saturday. I know most soccer leagues have games all day on Saturday. The fields are always full. Maybe we just go there and you just randomly ask 20 people that enter in through the gate, hey, what's your preferred practice day? What's your preferred practice day? So you don't know what age group they're in. You don't know what team they're on. And you can get 20 people. That'd be a great way to do it. Now, also what you're going to do is you're going to have to determine whether or not a question is biased or not. So right here, all 3 of these questions are related to the same exact survey. In Madison County, residents were surveyed about a new skateboard park. So they were asked about a new skateboard park. Determine whether each survey question may be biased. So for question A, would you like to waste the taxpayers' money to build a frivolous skateboard park? So this would be an example of a biased question. The reason why is it's already implying that you're wasting the money for the taxpayers. So they're showing their opinion within the question. We're wasting taxpayers' money. Frivolous means like useless, so unnecessary. So to build an unnecessary or useless skateboard park. So that makes it biased. They're already putting their opinion within the question, not letting the person answer it themselves. Do you favor a new skateboard park? This is not biased. Okay. And then finally, because they're just saying, do you favor it? Yes or no? You can say, no, I don't. I'm not in favor of a new skateboard park. Yes, I am in favor of a new skateboard park. Now, some would say that maybe this is a little bit biased because it's saying, do you favor? And maybe a better wording of that question could be, well, what is your opinion about a new skateboard park? Do you favor it or unfavor it? Or do you not favor it? But this is also, because this is only saying, do you favor it? However, you can still say yes or no to this. It's not injecting their opinion into this question. And then question C. Studies have shown that having a safe place to go keeps kids out of trouble. Would you like to invest taxpayers' money to build a skateboard park? You tell me, or you think to yourselves, is this a biased question or not a biased question? And it is definitely biased, because within the question they're already showing what they think by saying studies have shown that having a safe place. They're saying that they're already, you can tell that this person by asking this question that they are in favor of a skateboard park. Okay? That's it. It's just understanding what's biased and what's not biased. Okay? I actually don't have anything for things to remember for you guys on this one. So you don't have to write anything. Maybe draw a happy face just so I can see that you're actually watching the whole video. So yeah, for your things, remember, you have to draw a happy face. It doesn't have to look like mine. Draw your own happy face. If you don't draw the happy face, I'm not going to give you credit. So let's see who watched the whole thing. All right, independent practice, get it done. Should be easy. Thanks for watching, guys. Great ideas.